Hi everyone. Welcome to the Cup. Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real in the tea and reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm back. It's me, Logan, to say something gay. I've been gone a few weeks. Everybody decided to leave me in an airport in Bulgaria. And I'm by myself. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Yay! But for real though, I thought I was gonna have to do this by myself, and then Lana popped in.
I was fashionably late because I am Lana and I'm the resident evil diva. So,
Indeed, yes. And we're
but I
here talking about
wouldn't,
Amazing Race.
and I wouldn't leave you here alone because I want to go to Naples. Hello.
We gotta go to Italy, y'all. We gotta go to Italy.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, I'm here to give the tea spill to you.
I'm gonna let you do it. But yeah,
Well, we already did. I mean, I'm Lana, your resident evil diva, here to give the tea spill to you, drink the tea because let's do some tea purr, drinking some water, and yeah, we do have them. Cup mugs. Yeah.
my duck.
The duck
Dropped my
fell.
duck, but I caught
No
it with my thighs, so that's great.
work. And you can get your cup mug at Lana G's. Lana G's Creations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mugs and have a party. Ow.
Period. Well, I know it's been a little bit since I've been here, but I'm very excited to be back talking about Amazing Race. I'm thrilled, in fact, because, it's been a minute. I'm very upset by the last couple of eliminations. I'm very upset. I'm very angry.
Mm-hmm.
Because two of my favorite teams went home. But we've got episode 9 to talk about. We are in Italia.
Yay.
We're driving to Italia for one leg.
Love it. I guess it's still considered a mega leg without them saying it's a mega leg.
It's not, though.
I just want to say mega leg.
I know, Lana. I'm aware. No, they're not staying in the same country, so it's not a mega leg, Lana.
No, it's not.
You would think with all of the damn twists they're doing this season that they would have done a mega leg.
This would have been the best time for a mega leg.
I wonder if the 2-part finale is going to be a mega leg.
Maybe.
I'm holding out for a hero until the morning light.
Right. Because it's got to be strong. He's got to be fast.
He's got to be fresh from the fight. I need a hero.
Period.
But yes, we are going to talk about this episode of Amazing Race. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because here at the Cup TV and all across the Cup Network, we're trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. And all of your support means that we get to do some fun, cool, and extra fun, extra special new things for you all. So thank you for your support. If you've subscribed already, thank you. Tell all your friends. If you have friends, family members, folks at home, all those lovely, wonderful things. If they are fans of Amazing Race or other great competitive reality TV shows, or drag, WWE wrestling, or Eurovision Song Contest, if you know people that are into those things or even not into those things, just go steal your grandma's phone and subscribe on her phone or her TV or whatever. Just help us out. We greatly appreciate it. And you can check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, as well as the links to our other channels, our Patreon, where we have a lot of fun stuff coming very, very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. Our social media links are down there as well. Cup merch link is down there as well, so go check those out. And so we are coming off of the absolutely devastating loss, Lana, of Melinda and Erica. Devastating. Absolutely devastating.
I know this is your first time to talk about it. I've had time to process it, but I understand your devastation.
The clue. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
I loved them. I thought they were absolutely lovely, but bitch, read the clue.
Yeah, read the clue.
Read your clue, Tammy. Read it aloud.
Read the clue.
Change your costume. Change it around. It's a Drag Race reference. Sorry.
I figured.
I tend to make those, unfortunately. Sorry. Um, so we are departing from St. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, with the gays leading, the gays winning. Love to see it. And we are flying to Naples, Italia. We're going to Italia for this leg of the race. And once we are there, we are headed to Stazione di Montesanto, and we are taking a funicular.
Funicular.
Drink every time they said funicular.
That's
Don't
so
do
very
it. You
easy.
will have alcohol poisoning. Don't you dare.
Just drink water.
Just drink water. Don't do that. You will have water poisoning and die.
But I will tell you this. I want to get on a funicular.
It seems fun.
Seems fun.
Yeah. Seemed perfectly lovely and wonderful.
But they
And
had to they had to go up to the funicular and go to Castel Saint Elmo to
yes.
find their next clue.
Yes. And then once they're up there, they find out that they have to go to the Pulcinella statue and rub the nose of the statue to get their next clue, which means they get to go down the
funicular.
I love that. I love that they were just like, oh, we have to go back down. Oh, okay.
What we do see, 2 teams get out of there very quickly. They find the clue first. 3 teams get a little turned around, mixed up when they get up the funicular. And we see Anna and Jonathan and Holden and Han, who finds the first clue very quickly, jump back on the funicular to go down, leaving the other 3 teams waiting for the next funicular.
Mm-hmm.
So they had like a good 10 minutes head start and lead out from the first clue. But then they get down to off the funicular and they cannot find Puccinelli's.
Lost.
They're lost. They can't find the statue. And they're lost good. They lost real good.
And to be fair, it's in this like side alleyway
Yes.
with no real like super big like Amazing Race kind of designation, other than the fact that the clown that they have out there is in yellow and red. Like that's kind of the big designation. And I like that as we're nearing towards the end of the race, we're getting more subtle clues as to where things are. I appreciate that. Thank you, Amazing Race. Love to see it.
I love that. And I also love, like you said, what we see in this leg of the race in Naples, a lot of things are in alleyways, which I feel like that's what Naples has a lot of, and they are known for their alleyways. And so a lot of the stuff is in the alleyways. So you have to really keep your eye out and know where you're going and, know what you're looking at to find these hidden gems.
Exactly. So the other 3 teams come down the funicular. And they are much better at finding exactly where the statue is. So we have, I think it was Carson and Jack were the first to get down there. And they are the first to get to our detour for the leg. This was a jam-packed leg.
Yes.
And obviously there's 5 teams, so we're able to show a lot more tasks, a lot more detour, roadblock, all that kind of stuff. But we get our detour, mandolin or mozzarella.
Yes.
And I say mozzarella because of Italian origin. So this was my episode to return. Fuck Bulgaria. No, I'm kidding. Can I say, because I wasn't on the leg in Bulgaria, loved our introduction to Bulgaria.
Yes.
Bulgarian yogurt from a 102-year-old grandmother. Bulgarian yogurt. I want some Bulgarian yogurt now.
I mean, if you go eat it every day and live to be 102, give me some.
I would like some Bulgarian yogurt.
Thank you.
Loved it. Big fan. But yeah, so teams are either, and by teams I mean Jonathan and Anna, assemble the Neapolitan mandolin,
Mm-hmm.
or teams, everybody else, braided 6 pieces of mozzarella into treccia plaits, to be between 250 and 350 grams.
Now, Logan, I must ask, like I always do, which
Cheese,
you were picking the cheese.
cheese, cheese.
I would have picked that mandolin so doggone fast.
Really? Oh, music.
Well, and it's not even about music. It's just I can follow more directions. Like, okay, put these screws together. Like, I'm more of a like hands-on building type of person than I
Sure.
than I am of squeezing, making cheese and folding it into brick. Like, absolutely not.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I see that for sure. And see, I'm the kind of person where, like, food, anything, that's where I'm going to succeed. And, like, I love mozzarella. I love, like, the whole process of it. And I think from a, like, pattern making and kind of more analytical sense, I would have understood, like, how to make the plaits. I'm good at braiding in general as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, growing up, I was the gay guy that braided all of my friends' hair. So, like, that would have, I think I would have been able to, like, tap into those skills a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I think I would have been able to kind of highlight that. Now, my Amazing Race partner is not here today, so I don't know what the hell he would have done. But I would have wanted to do the mozzarella. That's
Which,
me. I think I would have done very well at this detour.
yeah. But we do see people are doing. We see Jonathan and Anna do really well at the mandolin. They just
Yep.
it's literally like you do your part, you do your part. Like one had to do the hardware and one had to do
Yep.
the strings. So Jonathan did the hardware, put it all together. She put the strings
He
on.
was, and he was really in his element in this,
Yeah,
and I loved seeing it.
we definitely saw a calmer, like what the first leg Jonathan that we saw. That first leg Jonathan, we haven't seen this Jonathan in a very long time, but we already know. We only go see this Jonathan when they're in the lead because this Jonathan only comes out when they're in the lead. But it was nice to see him in a very calm, and like he was very helpful to Anna when she was putting the strings on. He was like, okay, just do this and tighten it there, wrap it around. And he was just helping, and it wasn't yelling. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Now next week we ain't getting that. So it's
So
enjoy it while we
I
can, people.
so I'm gonna be 100% honest. I haven't been able to watch the other episodes that I haven't been on of our recap for the podcast. I don't know if y'all have talked about specifically, because Jonathan and Anna have actually talked about um why Jonathan has had the reactions that he has. And I don't know if y'all are aware of why he does.
Let's see.
And like what they've talked about. They've recently figured out, and Jonathan has recently been diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
And so they've been very, very open and honest about him being diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, and how that's really helped him understand his behavior. And he said that looking back at, his experience on the race, he's recognized that it's hard for him to be supportive and helpful,
Mm-hmm.
specifically with Anna, when he's in that kind of like
Pressure.
overheated state and like
Mm-hmm.
pressured state. And he's really working on, the fact that he has a hyperactive brain, and things like that, how that kind of sets him into a very specific headspace, kind
Mm-hmm.
of very similar to what we're seeing with Eva currently on
Mm-hmm.
Survivor,
Mm-hmm.
and why we're kind of seeing very similar reactions from both of them on these shows, and why ultimately we are seeing similar reactions to them on both shows
Mm-hmm.
from the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Knowing that information, personally, being someone as well with autism, I am going to give him a lot of grace now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to excuse what I see from him. That's where I will personally draw it, because I don't think it's great to have the reaction that he does. I'll say
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that about him now, I
Mm-hmm.
understand it more. And and from personal experience, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the reactions that he's having, because when I am in those states where I have a very hyperactive and overactive brain and I get very overstimulated, I understand how that feels. And I understand not always being, the most supportive and the most outwardly positive person to other people around me. So I definitely get it. Has his reactions been the most positive on this race towards Anna? Absolutely not. They haven't been great. But knowing this information about him now, do I understand a little bit more about the reactions that he's having? Absolutely, I do.
Absolutely.
And I'm
Yeah.
glad that they've been so open about it as well. And that's something I found out about last week, actually. So I'm really happy that they've been so open about it. And I applaud both of them for.
I mean, I guess having a late react or a late diagnosis in his life and not knowing that that is something that was, a situation that was going on with his brain, then yes, definitely give him grace for that. I still don't have to like it when I see
Of
it,
course.
but I will definitely I understand it now, and it's like, okay, that's just something he's going to seriously have to work on, because one good thing about being autistic is your brain might not work like you want it or everybody else's does, but there's ways to adapt and fix situations that's going on, and it's ways to make it a little less harsh. And I think if he works on it, he will get to a point where he can be a little bit more supportive, even if it's not full support like we would like it to look like. It will be enough for her to deal with, and her and him to deal with together, and it won't be as harsh in different situations. And I hope this helps him, like in this situation, grow. He gets to watch it
Yeah.
back, sees how he was, and see how it is, and it's like, okay, I don't want to be like that. So how can I change that? How could I fix this? And he can hyper focus on trying to fix it instead of hyper focus on everything else around him. So
And and it sounds like from what they've been saying, their experience on The Amazing Race was actually a lot of the catalyst for getting that diagnosis.
good.
Which I do love that has come from their experience. And I do also love that one of the things Jonathan said specifically was, you're gonna be upset, and rightfully so, at some of the ways that I've lashed out at Anna on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that at the very least he is acknowledging it,
Mm-hmm.
and he recognizes that the behaviors that he's experienced and exhibited on the show are not the best. And
Right.
at least at the very least, the first thing that he's doing is acknowledging it and wanting to fix it.
Absolutely.
And at this point, it's an edited
That's all
reality
it is.
show that y'all filmed an extended period of time ago.
Yep,
That's
yep.
all you can do.
That's all you can
And
do.
it seems like he is working on fixing things, and I fucking love to hear that.
I love to hear that. I
love
love to
it.
hear it. I'm here for it. And
Yeah.
good on you, Jonathan. And it's never too late to right wrongs and fix situations and everything. And he should not be. We should give, like you said, we should show him some grace, and we shouldn't, like you said,
Absolutely.
it's a reality show that they filmed a long time ago, and he has come out, acknowledged, because at least he acknowledged, because some people would
Yes.
just never say anything, like,
Right.
and we would never know.
Mm-hmm.
But I applaud to him. I applaud Anna for sticking with him and helping him through this, and they could get through it together. And I also hope that it made them stronger, because I think their relationship went through enough, and this show could. I hope this brought them closer together and made them stronger. But
I agree.
anyway, back to the race. Mozzarella, Anna and Jonathan cleared the mandolin like really
Oh,
well.
it was, and this is where I loved seeing Jonathan hyperfixate, and
Yes.
this is where I was like, oh, the autistic brain. I loved, because I saw it in him, and I saw a little bit of like my autism in him too. I was like, oh, I see it, because like he talked about his like growing up and how music was such a big part of his life. And I loved seeing that and hearing about it. So he was like, I'm going to lock in and do my own thing over here. And then Anna can come in and do her own thing over here. And it's that compartmentalizing thing. And I was like, I see it now. Like everything, like knowing that about him now, I'm like, every single thing he's done on the race so far, the positive and the negative, every single bit of it makes sense now. And they crushed that mandolin and I loved it for them. On the other side, over on mozzarella, the gays are killing the cheese. The gays are over here stretching the cheese. They're doing the damn thing.
They're braiding it. They're getting it.
Of course they are. Of course they're doing great here. Of course they are. Our dark horse team of consistency, never wavering, never wavering, never disappointing, never ever flopping. And I'm going to say at this point, the team I think is going to win this season, Alyssa and Josiah.
I will be okay with Alyssa and Josiah win. I will be very satisfied. Honestly, these last 5 teams, I will be satisfied with any one of them. Because I think these are the 5 strongest teams and they race the hardest.
I agree.
So I would be any one of these 5. I would be satisfied.
Any one of these 5 teams winning, I'd be thrilled with.
But yes, Alyssa and Josiah,
the most consistent, and we said it from the start. I was like, this team is going to be consistent. They're good. They're good at everything. How are you good at everything?
And they
except for throwing darts that one time.
Don't throw darts. Don't do that.
But everyone switched from that.
Everybody switched from that. But
everyone switched from that detour. So that was a detour problem. That was not a them problem.
No, they did. They are good at so much and everything, and they still have an express pass in their back pocket.
Hello.
They are getting to the final leg of this race. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They will be racing for $1 million.
Probably the last week they can use it.
Yes, right? Next week is the last week that they can use it. Yeah. That's why they were adamant not to use it this leg, because the next leg is the last time they can use it. So they are making their way to the final 4.
Yep, they're good.
They're good.
Unless something
crazy happens.
Catastrophic roadblock, honestly, or a catastrophic detour.
They can just go and say, no, we got this express pass. We can go right to the pit stop. They're going to the final 4. They don't have to do nothing in the next leg, but go to the first.
No, the express pass only gets you through one thing, right?
They take the express pass unless they're detour, whichever comes first.
That's what I'm saying.
Roadblock. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like if they were to use it to get ahead, per se.
Yeah.
Like if they were to do it to get ahead, per se. And then they have a catastrophic roadblock. Or a catastrophic, like, detour. Whatever their second task is.
Yeah.
A catastrophic second task.
That would be ridiculous.
That's where it could fall apart for them.
Yeah.
That's the point I was trying to make. Because I was like, no, they don't just skip everything. They're good. But if I'm them, I do the first task.
I do the first one and skip the second.
Unless they're struggling at the first task. And then they have to use it. And then, there's scenarios, but most likely they are making. And I want them to, because they've been the team of consistency.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it. They're going to use it at the right time. Even like you said, even if it's to get ahead, they're still good at everything. So if they are struggling on one thing, they get to the next thing. I don't think they will struggle on 2 things.
I agree.
So
I agree with you. But yeah, they do a pretty good job here as well. It's Han and Holden that are really struggling with the cheese. And it's more so Han is really the one struggling with the braiding and the plaiting and really getting because she's a perfectionist. She's really trying to hyper focus on the whole situation here or the Holden situation.
But I was so stop overthinking everything. They were doing, and then when they find out that they were doing it right the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time. But every time it's like, but this is hanging. It doesn't matter. It's cheese. Scoop it in and go. They were just so trying to be perfect that they were psyching themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until they went to try to get it checked out to when they saw like, oh, we're actually doing well. We got 3 out of the 5 right.
Yep.
3 out of the 6 right. Like, if you would have just checked it
Right.
earlier. But they were the last team to end up leaving that mozzarella detour because they were they just couldn't shake it off. That's where they had to go. But
Yep. So after that, teams are headed to the Monte Santo quarter. And once there, they have to purchase groceries the traditional way. This was maybe the single cutest task
thing
I
I've
have
ever
ever
seen.
seen on The
Oh,
Amazing Race.
I love that so much.
I love this.
I was like, first of all, yes, that's the only way I want my groceries delivered from this point on. Here's a
Right.
bucket. Here's the money. Go get my stuff, put it back, and bring it back up. Like,
Exactly.
hello. Oh, I love it. I thought it was the cutest thing ever.
I loved it.
And we see everybody doing really well. We see Jonathan, Anna, and Brett, Mark, and everybody's doing well. We had Carson and Jack got a little lost.
A little confusion,
Little
yes.
confusion happened with them.
Alyssa and Josiah end up sliding, right up into third.
Right.
And
But a
this is
little
kind of where everyone, roughly stays for the
landed.
rest of the leg. But,
Yeah. But
um,
again, Han and Holden, they get to the fruit stand, get their first 2 items, and then they're just like, "Where's the Where's it's sausage?" And they're like, "What do we get it? What do?" I'm
but
like,
it's not, but it's not just sausage, Lana. It's salchicha.
"Salchicha,
I think it's more
sausage,
salchicha. It's salchicha or
sausage,
salchicha. Who
salchicha,
cares? It's Jules
sausage,
Sparkle's dad.
salchicha."
Salchicha.
But they are so like, we gotta get a phone. We gotta like. I'm like, y'all, stop panicking. And you can't ask the people at the store because the racers, the people over Base Racer told them not to tell you. They can't tell
Exactly.
you where to go. You have to like go walk down some and get a phone from somebody. After, what is this? Where can I get this from?
Right.
Like, they
Girl, come
just
on
was
now.
so in their head, and I was like, oh man, we are about to lose Han and Holden. God,
That's what I was
I was like,
thinking.
golly, they
But
finna do it, but
but then they deliver all of their groceries with a bucket and a rope,
mm-hmm.
and it was absolutely adorable. I loved every single moment of
Me
this
too.
entire situation.
Me too.
It was literally perfect. And then from there, teams have to find a marked car. We're going to the Ristorante da Ettore for our roadblock. Who's
Mm-hmm.
feeling saucy?
Saucy.
Make a pizza.
Make a pizza.
We're in Italy.
Make
We're
a
in
pizza.
Naples.
Make
Make a
a
pizza.
pizza.
Make a
Okay.
pizza.
Make a pizza. Put
Make a
some.
pizza.
Get your dough out. Get your dough out. Put your dough out. Flatten it out. Make it round. Make it round now, not square. Make it round. Put your sauce on. Put your thick cheese on. Put your basil leaves on. And then you put your Parmesan cheese on top.
Mm-hmm.
Now you better make sure you flour that put some flour on that sheet before so that dough can slide up on there.
Mm-hmm.
Slide it under there. And then you go put it in a 900-degree pizza oven.
No big deal or anything.
No big deal. Just slide it on in there. Baby, I said, oh, this poor pizza oven is getting all kind of burnt and crustacean food up in it. They gonna have to turn that oven off and clean it out real good when it's over. Cause
This
every
baby's done fucked up this probably thousand
thousand year
year
old
old
oven,
oven. I said, these babies done fucked up this thousands-year-old oven in Naples, Italy for an American reality TV show for what?
Baby.
For what? Because the way the way that this chef was like, oh
Oh
no,
no. Oh no.
no,
Oh no
bad,
no. Mm-mm.
bad. I was like, me too.
I know, right?
Me too. I was yelling at my TV like, bad,
I was like,
bad,
mm.
bad.
No, no.
Baby, it's one fluid motion pull.
Right.
Have y'all never done one fluid motion pull?
Put it in,
Apparently
pull.
not.
Like, no. Put it on this, turn it around. That's all you're doing. Like, baby. I was like, man. And you know what the sad part is? Not only did we have to, well, it was really just Josiah, not Josiah, Anna, not Anna,
Alyssa.
Alyssa and Carson were the ones that really struggled because everybody else, A-okay.
Anna
I
slayed.
look, baby, she worked at Domino's and she was used to this. She said, "I know how to work them. I done made pizzas, 1,000 pizzas in my life. So my high school job just it paid off because she
I
ate
worked
that
at a
up,
Pizza Hut, so I know. I worked at a
baby.
Pizza Hut, so I know.
If you had the chance to make pizza, you know what you got to do to make it work, and
Yep.
she knew what she did.
Yeah.
The sad part is that all the people who weren't doing the roadblock just got to sit there and eat the reject pizzas.
I know.
And the other ones are like struggling with these pizzas, like, I want to eat pizza. Well, you can't.
Right.
Well, you
It's like,
can't.
ooh, okay, I'll eat lunch. Cool, that's fine.
Right. I'll be like,
I'll
that
let
would be
Jack do this roadblock and be like, ooh, I'm gonna just eat.
you the one need to do this roadblock, Mr. Pizza Hut.
No, I would be the one doing this one for sure. I would absolutely be the one doing this roadblock for sure.
If I ever saw you and Jack on Amazing Race and you choose to sit out the pizza challenge, I'd be like,
well, you never know. Maybe I'm out of roadblocks.
you doing a goddamn.
If we're at a ristorante in Italia,
You doing a damn. Yeah.
maybe I'm doing the roadblock.
You doing the roadblock.
If it's eating food, if it's making food, nah, I'm doing the damn roadblock.
Yeah. Absolutely. You couldn't come on this podcast no more if you got there and didn't do the roadblock and then had to sit there and watch Jack struggle.
Do it.
Unless you couldn't do it. But the way you and Jack are meticulous and know about all this and what time the roadblocks equally, y'all would both have roadblocks left.
Yeah.
I would just be like, you sat there and let Jack struggle.
Or unless I already did the roadblock that day and it was a double roadblock,
maybe.
But
let there not be a reason. You would come back on this podcast and I'd be like, you mean to tell me you sat there and watched Jack struggle at this roadblock with the pizza? The pizza.
yeah. I needed a snack, Lana.
What the pizza? You can go.
They did fine.
You better hope y'all better hope he did fine. You would better hope that would that better not be the one to take you out. I'll be like,
so what?
No, if you win, if y'all lose,
no, we ain't manifesting that, Lana. No, don't say no.
All right.
No. What we're not about to do here on this day is do that. Anyway, it's mostly Alyssa and Carson that are starting. Poor Carson, that baby.
Poor Carson, that baby. Oh my God. That
baby just. He was like, Jack, I really need some encouragement right now. I was like, no. Oh.
But the good thing is they hadn't seen Han and Holden all day.
And then the best part is when Carson actually got it. The pizza guy was like, this is the best crust I've seen all day. And I was like, yes. Yay.
And I said, oh, we're going to lose Han and Holden.
Nope.
Because we see everybody have to go make their way on foot to
it
Castel
is Castel Nuovo.
Louisville. Mm-hmm. And of course, like we said, the order that we saw everybody going in and leaving at was the order that they got to the roadblocks. So Jonathan and Anna wins, and they win a trip to Mexico City for two. Good on them. And I was like, "Ooh, the
Is this their
homeland."
their
Second,
what second?
second
Only
trip.
their second win?
Yeah, they only won once before, and that's why we said we haven't
Oh,
seen Jonathan in this form in such a long
yeah.
time because they have always come in, either they come in second or they're fourth or third, or
Wow. Okay.
they
Yeah.
have not won
Yeah.
first
Because
since
I was
that one
like,
leg.
wow, gag. Okay,
Yeah.
gag.
But we see Anna and Jonathan come in, then Brett and Mark, then Josiah and Alyssa, and then Carson and Jack. And yeah, Han and Holden comes in and Phil lets them
Oh,
know.
Melinda and Erica are still on the board. They made it back. They made it to. Oh, never mind.
No, they're gone. And Han and Holden are still there because this is the non-elimination.
Yay! I'm thrilled.
I, you know I'm thrilled. You know
Okay,
I'm thrilled.
but also, where was this for Courtney and Jasmine? Where was this for Pops and Jam?
That's who I wanted it for because they were right there. But then we would still had Nick
Where
and
was this for
Lou.
Scott and Lori?
Scott and Lori would have been great. Ugh.
But also Han and Holden. I'm very
Han
thrilled.
and Holden.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm thrilled.
Thrilled for
I'm
Han and
thrilled.
Holden. Thrilled for Han and Holden. Let me make
I'm
that very,
thrilled
very
for
clear.
them
I didn't want to see them go.
because
It
I
would have
didn't have
been
to take them out.
true. But let's be real and honest, though. It would have been their time.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I'm thrilled that there's more Han and Holden. Let me make that very clear as well.
They just got to pick it
Thrilled that
up.
there's more Han and Holden.
They just got to
Thrilled that
pick it
there's
up the
more Han
next
and Holden.
way. They got to pick it up the next way.
I feel very confident in my abilities to win this draft, Lana.
Do you?
I do. I have two very strong teams left on my board.
You do. You really do.
I feel very, very good at my chances to win this draft, actually.
I mean, honestly,
I think any of us could win, actually.
Any of us could win at this point.
Any
Absolutely.
of us could win. Because like I said, any of these 5 teams could win, and I would be so thrilled and so happy. But like I said, Alyssa and Josiah have been the team of consistency.
Yes.
They have placed in the top 3, I think, every single leg except for 1 or 2 of them.
Yes.
Like, the team of consistency, I've been so beyond impressed with them the entire time. And Carson and Jack always have this way of coming through at the last minute when they absolutely need to. And that is a great skill to have, especially in the later legs, especially in the final leg.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Brandon with Brett and Mark is a really strong team. They just came in second place. They have been very consistent after these last few legs between first and second place. So I think Brandon has a really, really good shot. I think Anna and Jonathan, man, they can, if they have good legs, if they can work together, then they can make it. It's just they got to make sure that they can work well together, and we don't know. And Han and Holden the same way. I think if they can get out of their head and actually make some things shake in this next leg, they can start moving back up again and getting out of that last place position. So I think all of us have a really good chance. I think you have a really strong chance. I am not counting anybody out at this point.
No. And what's interesting is while I'm looking at roadblock distributions, everyone is pretty even. 3 teams are at 5-5 actually after this episode, being Brett and Mark, Alyssa and Josiah, and Han and Holden. Carson and Jack, with having taken the fast forward, they're at 4-5. With Carson being at 4 and Jack being at 5. The only team with a bit of a bit of a different distribution. Jonathan and Anna are at 4 and 6, with Anna at 6.
Yeah.
So in these later legs, Jonathan is going to need to take more roadblocks, which is going to be a bit riskier because it's either going to be great, we can knock through it, and it's going to be gaining on a lead that they may already have,
Right.
especially now that they're in first place, and may give them a bit more of an advantage, or it could prove to potentially maybe be their undoing. So I think it's gonna be a bit of a risky endeavor to see, where Jonathan's gonna lie. If it's not a roadblock that's necessarily in his wheelhouse, I'm intrigued to see how Jonathan is gonna respond to it, and how they're gonna be able to bounce back from it, if they're gonna be able to, if it doesn't end up going his way.
Right. You're right.
I'm certainly intrigued to find out.
I am, and we will be back to find out about all of this.
Yes, indeed. With that being said, thank you for joining us for this lovely episode 9 recap for Amazing Race. We've got 2 more episodes before the finale. Well, 1 more episode before the 2-part finale.
Yes.
So we'll be back next week for our penultimate episode before the 2-part finale. Thank you for joining us for this one. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below. In the meantime, subscribe here because we've got a lot of fun reality TV content. Lana just finished a full season recap of Battle Camp over on Netflix, which you should go check out if you are like me and grew up on Disney Channel games, and you enjoy that kind of stuff, and also enjoy various Netflix reality shows and games. Go check that out. We did also cover Got to Get Out over on Hulu, and we did just do an interview with Liar Steve himself, Steve Helling. So if you want to check that out, feel free. We cover a bunch of fun reality shows here, so make sure to check that out. We've got 3 other channels as well that we cover a bunch of reality content and other media fabulosity. So all the links for those channels are down in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links where you can listen to us on the go, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup, mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Bye.
Woo.